Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Under Construction, my video game development series where I take a task, I try to tackle it, I record it, you get to hang out with me as I develop, and maybe we learn something, or maybe we don't. You never know. Um, this is probably gonna be the last one for a bit. Um, Actually, no, scratch that. I don't know what's the last one or not, but I have a very specific goal in mind on this one. It's the last functional change I'm going to make to my liege. The rest of it will relay as a polish and additional content and things like that. Or a story or visual content, I should say. So what we're going to do today is I'm no longer happy with my inventory representation or how I keep track of stats. So originally, I like the numbers. I like the uppy downiness of numbers. I like to make them go up. I panic when they go down, so I like the numbers. The more I develop the game, though, I've realized one, I'm not giving the player the tools to really do much with the numbers. This is just not the type of game where that makes sense. And then additionally, a lot of players just didn't care, and there was no context behind the numbers. So what I want to do instead is I might still represent it as a number on the back end, but visually I want to represent it up here as symbols. So instead of gold, you have 100 and you're going up by 10 per turn. I think what I would like to have instead is like zero, like have 5 gold bars as images, icons that are uncolored in, and then however much gold you have, I color that much in. So maybe you're completely average as far as a noble house would be concerned. 2.5 out of 5 stars colored in. And then you make decisions where you're accumulating more. Then I could show like maybe a green chevron pointing up or something. And then after maybe 2 or 3 turns, you would go from 2.5 to 2.7 to 2, like a little under 3 to 3 gold bars filled in. And so it would still trend one way or another. But we're not getting grindy on the numbers anymore. I'm trying to show it to you just visually. And then on the back end, I can use that scale effectively to check, like, do you have enough gold to make this trade purchase or whatever? Well, as long as you have more than 1 gold bar right now, you can. That kind of thing. So I think it would serve the best of both worlds for me. And that's what we're going to do today. So that means I need to update visually what's shown on the screen. And actually, let's start writing this down. So if you're curious where some of this inspiration is coming from, one, any online review where you have stars, you can visually see, they'll put like a number and then like visual representation of the stars. I'm not sure if I want to show the number, like 2.9 or something. I might. We'll see how the spacing all fills out up there. But visually, what I've seen in a game, and this is a screenshot from Road Warden. Let me make sure my face isn't covering up anything. No, it's not. Good. You can see on the right here. Actually, I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, kind of. Oh, now my head's kind of covering. What am I doing? Addison, act like you've used the internet before. So you can see above me, like rather than giving you an HP count, it's showing you have 3/4 of a heart right now. And I believe in game when you hover it, it gives you like a story context, like, hey, you're feeling pretty good, but it's not your best day. And so they represent it visually this way. And so like I see this bread bowl or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I'm full. I don't need to know any details there. Or wait, maybe the bread loaf is the. I don't remember what the difference between these two icons is. I think one's hunger, and one is how much food you've ate recently. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played Road Warden. But that's at least where the inspiration's coming from. So let's make a list of things we need to tackle. I've got my trusty dusty notepad here. So big items, and this is kind of how I approach development in general, is what are the big things I need to accomplish here? So the UI updated to show icons. On the back end, I might need to change. Let's just say review how stat data is stored. Because I think right now it's stored as just numbers. And I think I might be able to just do that. And with a couple of extra lines of code to make sure we don't go below 0 or above 5. When we get to that stuff, we'll think about it. Also, sorry for the munching. I'm a hungry boy. It's been a while since lunch. A whole, like, 2 hours. So review the stat data stored. And then, probably some form of update. I'm going to call it how stats are interacted with. Which that's going to be like when in the code where I say, hey, you selected an option. That's going to cost you money. Impact the stat. How does that need to change at all? Or can I still give it numbers? They're just going to be smaller numbers. So that seems good. I'm just thinking here, how do we want to go about this? I'm going to pause this now. Because I could attack it visually first and then worry about the back end. Or attack the back end and think about it visually. One is going to inform the other, and I'm going to figure it out the hard way by doing it in the order that makes less sense. Since this change is being driven more, I guess that's a good question. Why am I changing it? I'm changing it more because of how I want the end product to look to the player. So let's start there. That's the more important part. Let's figure out what I want it to look like, and then we will handle make the back end work for the end product. I think that's a good approach. So let's do that. Let's see. Gotta bring up my HUD inventory display. So the way this is currently working, we'll have to change slightly. Right now it's dynamic, so let's see. Where does I think they go right here. So if I look up the prefab for the stats, HUD, UI elements, HUD, stats row per turn. Yeah, so basically I have this child prefab that I add for every set I need to show. I just add it to this UI. And you can see here that it's got the icon, the name, number. So Gonna do something similar. So let's just add does this prefab have, it's not a variant, okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a copy of it, and this is gonna be our stats HUD row. I'm gonna put the word updated on the end, and then likely rename everything once I can clear out the old. Or, no, that's a better idea. Let's update the old ones to say old. And then I can remove them later. I like to start with my final naming, if I can. So I'm gonna just plop this in here, and visually I'm gonna start with some actual an actual example, and then make it generic. So I think stat icons 5 sounds like the right number, right? So we're gonna reorder this a little bit. We're gonna put oh, that's right, I gotta open it first. So I think 5 is gonna be the number I want. And we don't need a value. I'm gonna inactivate this for now. I don't think I'm gonna show the number. If I was gonna show the number, I think I would do that when you hover over it. So we're gonna leave that out for now, and then oh, this doesn't have a horizontal grouping, horizontal layout element. Let's put that in horizontal layout group, and why is this so wide? 200? Jeez. Okay, never mind. We're gonna take that element out, or layout group out, because I think I can do it by hand. And so I want 5 of them. Boom, 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 boom. And part of me is, this seems a little ham-fisted, but I think if I just have the 5 icons and then at runtime plug them in based on what stat we're doing. Uh-oh, got a cat invasion. Let's see if I can catch him. There you go. There's some jelly bean flank. And he's gone. But I see no reason to do it a different way. Let's stick with the same size that I had before. 25 by 25. Ooh, excuse me. And how are we gonna handle the partial fill? One step at a time. One step at a time. Let's handle full fill. Discrete. No decimal points. And then we'll think later about that. So, 25 by 25. This row is only... This row is being resized based on. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Oh, so I'm gonna make it 25 by 25. We're gonna anchor them all on the top right hand corner. The stat HUD row is height 25, so that's fine. And so can I actually do that? So it's stretched up and down. Width, I would like it to maintain. I don't want it to warp. I thought there was a button to like maintain resolution, but maybe that's not for images. I thought that was. Oh well. That might be on the sprites actually, which is fine. Okay, so if I do that for all of them, let's redo those steps. Boom, 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 boom. And then each one we just move 25 in. Actually, number them 0 to 4. Okay, so let's do some quick math. Let's do it backwards. This one, 25. Nope, wrong direction. Negative 25. And then this one, minus 50. And this one, minus 75. And this one, minus 1. Okay, and just for temporary, let's figure out. I could show gold. I could show food. Nope, not fold. Food. I could also. I've been curious of whether I want to show some of the background stats I keep, like honor or military. But if I did, I have plenty of space. So let's just start with food, and then for icons, we actually are gonna need some new icons because the ones I have currently aren't fillable. I believe. Let me look them up. Nope, not like that. Yeah, so these aren't fillable. So this isn't quite gonna work how I want. But it's not the end of the world at this moment. Yeah. Not too worried about that. Actually I am. I lied. So let's see. Let's go find some new icons. Ideally, what do I ideally want? It's like I like this. I guess what do I think I like the idea because when they're not filled, they need an outline so you can easily tell what the item is still. But like for example, oh no, those aren't the same shape. Oh, these are inverses of each other. Nice. Okay. So if I can find pairings like this, and if I have to, I can do this in Krita too. I can make my own pairings. I would just prefer not to. But then I can fill it with another image. Ooh. Would this help? Is this gonna help with my fill problems? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Other thing is I could like actually give them a background. No, that's not gonna work. Man, I've got some epic music for picking. Currently, I'm listening to a Martin O'Donnell radio to get a collection of soundtracks. And this is I'm currently listening to XCOM 2's Metal and Steel, evidently, and it's pretty intense. Uh, Once again, I'm not recording the sound because I don't want to bother. I don't want to dictate what you listen to, but also I don't want to dictate having to be like copyright blah blah blahs. Because YouTube will yell at me. Hmm. Sub icons. That's interesting. Didn't know I could do that. I could also put a. Oh. I've never actually done this before, you know? Tinkered with it. That's pretty cool. I like this site. Icons8.com. If you need good PNG icons, come here. Yeah, I think what I would like to do is I would like to have the outline and the fill. And then what I can do is I can use like a mask probably to if I wanted to do partial, have like a mask that I encode decide how far it stretches uh, to show more of the filling of the one that is a partial. Okay, so let's try this out. So I don't have to make it a million downloads. These are gonna be updated inventory icons. So let's see. Okay, and these actually recognize that they're a pair here. Nice. So add this to collection. And then the that one as well. So that's gonna be food. Let's look at bread. Is there and actually can I search just this? I don't like that I'm using Apple, but you know, if it works, it works. Um, am I? Oh, okay. It's got a filter there. So like, if I looked up the corn one, I'd find it. Boom, gotcha. And then like, do you guys have a bread one? You do. Can I have the pear? Oh, it's perfect. Okay, this is pretty slick. Oh, oh, I could get a smiling one. Oh, the fill isn't quite perfect. I could get some non though. Okay, neat. Um, for gold, what you got? You got the one that I was using. Gold medal, not really. What if I just type in money? What do you got for options? If it didn't have the number 1 on it, I would like it. Oh. Singular money? Okay. 3D money. It's less 3D money and more layered money, actually. I feel that this one's a little bit busy to have 5 of in a row. That's technically 15 coins. I don't want to do paper. Stacks of money, though. I don't think that would visually work with my left to right idea for... But bags of money. Let's grab the bags. And let's grab the coins. This might be too busy. So, I don't know about it. But then we can grab the singular coin as well. Okay. Get these downloaded. Let's see. And then I want to put them in a spot. So let's put them in... Not working on animations today. Images... Not house sigil. Sprite icons. Let's make a folder of inventory icons. Drop them all in. And then we also need to... because we're going to use these on the UI, update their texture type to 2D and UI. That'll be good. The last thing I'm realizing is I probably wanted them. I probably wanted them in white. Because so the reasoning there is like, let's say I'm working on this one. Let's throw that coin in there. Looks fine, right? Looks great. But I can't change the color on it because it's black. I guess is there something about the input or importing I could do? Oh, alpha source from Grayscale. Bad idea. Don't do that. No. So, yeah, this is not worth the effort. I should just go back to the site and grab white ones. I bet if there's a way, you know. Because there's people out there that are way smarter than me, you know. Maybe I could use a sprite editor. Well, that inverts it, but it also ruins the PNG aspect of it. The transparency. So, okay, nope. Don't work that hard. Just admit defeat, delete them, and do it again. White? No. That's not white. I don't want you transparent. I want it to be white. Really? Ugh. What? No, that's just editing the name. Okay, fine. Remove all of them from the collection. We'll do it again. Limit it to this collection. This is like speed running it. Recolor them all as white. Perfect. Perfect. Look at this. Add to collection. Give me your filled version. So we like the bread. I kind of like the corn too. I'm unsure which I like better. I also am realizing we need to also review the delta values, which kind of is, I guess, related to those, but like how I manage it going up and down is going to be completely different if we're, well, maybe not. I'll explain what I'm thinking, but okay, we got the food versions and then money. Give me the big bags of money. And then give me the coins of money. Nope, not the ones, the coins of money. And then the single money. Now we're back in business. 100 by 100. I can't remember if it's better to. Well, I guess 100 by 100 it's scaled up. Let's do 50 by 50, which is pixel perfect. And then I can. I assume that will make it better when Unity turns it into 25 by 25. Just an assumption. Okay, there's my PNGs. Grab them all. Make them UI. There we go. Only textures with height/width being multiples of 4 can be compressed by that format. Okay. I don't know what this warning means, so if it's truly important, I trust you will tell me. Computer. Okay, so now if we were doing the corn, I would put boom. Nope, not like that. Oh, that's the filled in, right? Yeah. There we go. And then we can set icon fill. No. We'll make a second one, and the second one will be the filled in version. Wait a minute. What? They don't line up. Why are we not lining up? Oh. Because the filled in version, because the filled in version, words are tough. I'm having an issue because you see both of them go to the bottom, but the filled in version should fit nicely inside. How does it look? Like these will work perfect because they have the padding, whereas the corn goes all the way to the edges. Wait, that shouldn't be fine. Why is it not fine? Is it not the same icon? Oh, wait, no. I just have to line it up better. Hmm. I did not think this would be the tricky part of all this work. Um, huh. I still maybe I'm back on like masking is the way to go somehow. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. We got an idea. We've got an idea. Let's see if I can execute this. Also, what the heck? Why is this corn so much blurrier than this corn? What the? So many things are going slightly wrong right now. And I do not like it. Well, shoot. What's going on here? Got stat icon 1, stat icon 2. Okay. So something with the images are different? It's probably that compression thing. Shoot. Ah! Been bested again. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll do 100 and not do the pixel perfect. Maybe that is going to be better. Oops, I only downloaded the one, not the collection. But that'll be good enough to test with. Oop, we need to make it a sprite. And boop. Crisp and clean. Okay. Whatever. Compression algorithms or whatever needed it. I don't know any better. So I will listen like a good little dev. Okay, fine. Round 3. Let's download them again. Download the collection this time. I thought I had to sneeze. That was a lie. Nope, wrong thing. Here we go. Update them all to be sprites. And now... Okay, and then what if we switch it to the fill version? Fill looks good. So then, oh, well, maybe it was because of the blurriness that it looked so bad. No, it's just kind of poor design, honestly, on the, is it just, like, maybe the bread one looks better. So this is the filled, and yeah, bread looks fine, you know? It lines up perfect. So, especially, oh man, if I take the fill one and I like give it a bready color, oh, oh, that's so good. That's so good. Maybe this, yeah, it might just be a story of like different icons, you know. So like if we take this one and let's try the money pairing. The money. Oh, wait. No, the money would be gold. Well, maybe not that color gold. Maybe like bright. Not perfect because of the black lines failing to overlap. Oh, the fill is overlapping the background. So if I put the backgrounds up. Oh, oh, even better. Oh, that looks good. That looks so good. Um, it's a little weird that the well, no, see, this one doesn't line up perfectly either. Like, if you line up the dollar sign, then you end up with these weird shadow things going on. Like, what the? Why? Why did you miss? However, we weren't even sold on that version of money. Like, if we do the money bag, though, oh yeah. And then, oh baby, give me that money bag. Oh, so good. It's so good. Perfect. So I will explain how I think I want to handle the um gradient in 1 second. I'm going to refill water and whatnot. Okay, so here's the plan. Let's go. First off, actually, plan not in action yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have double the icons so that we have the top layer and the bottom layer. And so I'm gonna make a copy of this and I'm gonna name it set icon fill. And then I can make a bunch of them and I'll just move them around. Okay. And then let's make them all the same shape. For now, we will use bread as our example. And then, so we can tell which one's layered on which one, let's give it a bready color. There we go. So, we're going to put the fills up here. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to use masks. And each layer, no, just the back layer will have a mask. And the percent, and like, it'll have a default size, right? And then when I display the amount, I will just like shrink it or resize it to be that percent of its default size. So how will I do that? Uh... We'll call it fill mask and put it in between. We will make it 125 wide, anchor it to the side with the same uppy downiness. Give it the mask component. Ugh, I forgot how masks work. Shoot. There's something I gotta do to make it maskable. Oh, it's already maskable. Does it need to be child of it? No. Oh, I still need an image on it. Um, ah, I'm struggling here. Um, did I have this in my dev guide at some point? I feel like I had to refigure out masks at one point. No, I have notes on how to do a scroll rect, which is kind of the same. Where else am I using a mask? On the menu. That's why I'm using a mask. Not yeah, the generic menus. Yeah, so this is the same thing. And I have the alpha set really low, but not 0. Okay. So then, is that my problem here? There we go. And then I can adjust the width of this. Yeah! Let's go! Uh, hmm. But it's going from the wrong way. Because I want it to be left to right. But I also want to anchor it on the right here. Yeah. We're not going to overthink it. We will just simply anchor this on the left and position it 125. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Still anchored on the right. But positioned minus 125. No. Come on, Addison. Math isn't this bad. Oh, I'd have to just relocate these to make more sense. So now this could be, oh, because it's part of the, oh. Oh. Yeah. So, do I need these to be children then? I think I do, right? Like, if I'm gonna do a partial, I can't. The moment I put like this in here, it also gets masked. Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna make this work. We're just gonna make it work. That's all there is to it. So, ideally, what I want is for the fill mask to be anchored on the left, which means I need to know how far in to go. Oh, no, that's not great. We're overthinking everything. Because if I keep everything anchored to the right side, then as UI changes, my stuff won't get out of sync. That's the big thing. Oh, no. What am I worried about? Just throw these in there and that'll help keep everything in sync and just make them not maskable. Boom! The best! And then, here we go. We know how wide it is. Okay, so actually, does the mask component need to be there? So turn off mask, turn off image, whatever. And then on this, can I add a mask? Image. Background. And then we put it to 4. No, the mask appears to it looks like I have to have it on the parent. Whatever. Right? That's not a huge deal for me because I can just do that, and then if I take all these guys, boop, perfect. So let's remove this component, remove that, remove that. This is just a container. A container to make sure that these 5 guys are anchored to the left. Is that necessary? Yes. Because then I'm anchored to the left. I've got 125 in. Because this might grow or shrink. But then I start my masks from the left, working my way in, and all of the icons know where they're supposed to be in relation to what. Let's make them all left anchored. So that this is 0. This is 25. This is 50. This is 75. This is 100. And then, like I said, all I need to know is that the default is 125 wide. And I can tweak all of that. So let's say, you know, I can bust out my calculator and it's like, hey, on the back end, it's 50%. So 125 divided by 50, boom. No, that's, wow, that was an embarrassment. But like, oh, maybe it's 45%. No. Times, oh my gosh. Addison, use the calculator correctly. 125 times 0.45. 56.25, and then that's just what we plug in for the length, 56.25. And that is the fill. Now, I am realizing, though, the background is a bad one because it's got that curve to it. Let's use a different image. Oh. They all have rounded edges. I really have... There's no default that's just square? What the heck is a panel, then? UI panel. Rounded edges as well. Oh, okay. This is so dumb. I need to go grab a perfectly square image just for this? Do you got one for me? It's got padding on it too, though. God damn it. No! These aren't squares. They're rounded. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my gosh. This is going to be the most valuable PNG. I'm not even going to use, I'm just going to use paint for this one. Shoot, how do you crop the picture? Fill it with white, baby. And then image properties. There we go. Width 100 by 100. Perfect. And now save as PNG. The most beautiful PNG you've ever seen. Square. This is so stupid. Unity, why is everything rounded? What if for this very specific reason I need a square? There we go. No more rounded edge. Perfect. Okay. This is looking great. So now, here's how we make it dynamic. We need to write a little script. Do I want to just update this one? No, we need a different version. Stat hardware. Oh, and then okay, so if things are increasing or decreasing, let's tackle that right now. Kind of low on space. Like if I was gonna like this is the longest one I can think of as showing is like your military strength. Um, would I have room for one more icon? And I put it outside. We anchor it left, and we do minus 125. For military, it would be close, but for everything else, it would be fine. And then I would just use like up or down arrows. So like, oh, or I could use side to side chevrons. So like I could do a left chevron. Oh, yeah. What is the aspect ratio of these guys? It doesn't really matter. Um, so like width 10. Oh, and then I could do ideas afoot. If I did 10 minus 135 for like rapidly decreasing and rapidly increasing. Oh, I like this because we could then like if it's decreasing, we could show like red, and then let's say we're increasing, then we just swap out the chevrons and give it the old green treatment. And it's pointing which way it's filling. Ooh, I kind of like that. I kind of like it. Okay, so boom, we've got our icons. Um, I think the only other thing I would do is because these two, I know they're going to be the chevrons, I could probably nestle them a little bit. I like this so much because a little bit. Boop. Oh, more insane. A change plus? No, 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 no. A change plus plus. Put that right there. Yeah, 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 yeah. One mine. Boom. Oh my gosh, so much change. Oh, and then, oh, yes, I am liking this. I am feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. I realize that's not how that is line works in this show, but okay. Okay, we got some visuals cooking. Let's switch over to code now. And get this coded up. And so, let's see. This is the original. How are we gonna tackle this pig? Let's go ahead and first things first, zoom in a little bit so y'all can read. I'm gonna I'm not worried about maintaining the old, but I am gonna dump this into a notepad just in case. Okay, so what do we not need anymore? I don't really need the text for the stat values. We'll still want the stat name. We're gonna need two different icons. Actually, no, we're gonna need a lot of icons. So yeah, let's remove the icon, but we are going to instead now have not serialized. Serialize. We're gonna have private list of shoot. What was icon originally? Was it image? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do lists. A list of images. We're gonna have the outline. The stat outlines, and then we'll have the private list image, the build versions. And actually, let's rename this as outline icons and build icons. There we go. That's better. And then we'll whoopsies. We'll just rely on we'll loop through them and set all the images. When things go up and down, so I had this concept originally where when values went up and down, I would like highlight them in green. I think we can keep that for the words, but we're not gonna have numbers anymore, so that's fine. And then this stuff. Okay, so here's the thought I have. So we're still gonna have things that instantaneously move values up and down. And then we're gonna have trends that like take a few months to build up. So but I don't want it to be a no end. So like let's say you're at 3 out of 5 wheat or food, and you make a change that increases your food capacity. You're not going to see the results of that change immediately. You're going to have to work for it. But like let's say that your new status quo would be 4 out of 5 food because you're making more food than you're eating and whatnot. So I think what I want is a current and a target. So maybe your status quo is 4 out of 5 foods. You have 4 out of 5 food, and then you host a big feast. That's gonna drop you right away to 2 out of 5. But your target, like what you can get back to, is 4. So over the next maybe 4 turns, you'll work your way to that number. And how far away, how much space is in between your current and your target or status quo? That's how many chevrons. Oh, yes, this is working. Okay, so let's track these values. Why are these public? I guess. What were we doing with them that needed to be public? like, oh, I was setting them directly from the HUD from the stats display manager. I don't like that. We don't need to do that. So let's keep them private this time. We will have private int. No, they're not ints anymore. Well, I think at the back end, I'm still going to treat them as ints from 0 to 100. And I'll just turn that into a percent to figure out how much fill to do. So yeah, private int stat current value, private int target value, and then we can just include delta. That only made sense for like stats that went up and down per turn. That'll just automatically get determined by is there a gap. So we don't need to think about including delta amounts anymore. Focus text style increase. Keep that around. Base text style, keep that around. Stat focused. Oh, yeah, this is for if we're calling it out. Yeah, keep that around. Okay. So when we wink, yep, grab that. When I'm setting it up for the first time. Okay. So there's a class called stat decode where I yeah. This is not my finest class. It's kind of hard coded of like, you know, hard coded references that I can grab from easily. We're too late in the process to redesign this. We could, but I don't want to. So, let's see, because we're gonna need. Here's a stat. Here's stat decode. Okay. Because for each stat type now, I'm gonna need an outlined and a filled reference. So stat icons outline. And then we'll just make a second dictionary of the filled versions, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this, but we are making do. So outlined is filled like that. We'll just copy, paste, stat icons filled. And rather than get the vanilla icon references, yeah, public sprite gold icon. Yep. I hate all this, but that's fine. Project managing myself to say not everything needs to be refactored because we're not this is not something that needs to be super expandable, you know. And I think I am gonna show Marshall and like I call it Marshall here, but I'm gonna call it military on the top end. But I think I'm gonna start showing honor in Marshall. There we go. So gold build. There we go. So now those dictionaries are set up, and we can get stat decode, get stat icon. You know what? Let's just this I don't think needs to be like this hefty. So we can do public static void get stat display items. Or get stat display. You give me a stat type. And then I'm going to have 3 things that are outs. So the string p stat decode, the out image. Oh no, we're returning sprites. Out sprite, p stat outline, and out sprite p stat build. And that way I can just call one thing and get all of them. So once again, let's check that it exists. I did not copy and paste correctly there. There we go. And then if I do, now p stat decode. Now I gotta check them all. Okay, this is a little bit excessive now. Now that I realize what I'm doing. But that's okay, because this is ultimately better. In my opinion. That decodes p stat. Nope. And then p stat outline, stat outlined, p stat type. Nope. Golly, come on, autofill. Work with me here. P stat build equals stat icons build. Dang it! Autofill, help me! Help me help you! Help me help you! Okay, so we save that, and then over here we're gonna set it up, so we're just gonna call stat decode dot get stat display p stat dot type. And now, ooh, you can't see, but oh, I just saw a good friend launched My Liege demo. Actually, we're gonna call him out on that. I gotta find the perfect gift though. So I just did slash Giphy hype, and okay, that works. But yeah. Shoot. Oh yeah, out string decode. And actually I'm gonna call it the display decode. Because that's exactly what it is. And then out sprite outline image. And then out sprite build image. Okay, so now we got our stuff. As far as setting up, we just want to loop through those lists I made for each image, image in stat outline icons, image dot image. Nope, sprite. Outline image. And I guess actually for the text, let's get that up first. Just so I'm going in, because I like to be parallel. Let's see. Instead of the outlines, let's just kind of bash it quick for stat build. Perfect. Oh, nope, not perfect. Build. There we go. And then set stat value. We come down here. Okay. We are slowly kind of bleeding into our tasks now. So yeah, let's bring up my to-do list. I would say UI updated to show icons. Great. Let's throw that into the done pile so that I feel good about myself. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I had a interruption there, but now we're kind of running into all this blurring together. Reviewing delta values, we just discussed, like, I'm not going to have a per turn change. There'll be a set amount it can increase, but I won't. That's not something I'm going to display. I'm just going to display chevron. Should you be able to see what the target value is? I don't have anything else where you hover and it gives tip text. If I get around to doing tip text, I think that yes, I will do that. But right now, I'm not going to. So how the data is stored and how the stats are interacted with, that's what we're doing right now. It's just, we will not get rid of the red squiggly lines until we just tackle all of it. And luckily, it'll kind of lead to each other. So setting stat values, like, all of this is kind of worthless now. What's existing here. So, like, I still think we do something like this, where we only touch it if the value has changed. So yeah, so if current value does not equal the value you passed in. And I'm going to rename these. So P new current value and P new target value. Whoops, I didn't do the rename on that one. And then initial setup, I think, is still going to be relevant because when we are in initial setup, I don't highlight anything. Okay, yep. So if my current value is not equal to the new current value, or else the text was out of date. Do I need that or else anymore? How would I handle the or else? Knowing, no. Let's assume I don't. Because what we're gonna do here is We update the stat value, which simply just means, so we're still going to look at the is increase. And then we're going to set, so we now know what our new current value is. And now we are also, we need a reference to our mask, right? Our mask is this. So I'm going to set it to full right now. And we only need to know its rect transform. So name, all the icons, just deciding what order to put things in. Serialize field, private, rect, transform, mask transform. And then we will keep track of private floats, full mask width, because I need to know, if I'm going to translate it to a percent, I need to know what full is. And I would really like to just be able to do this. Full mask width equals mask transform dot width. Nope. Oh shoot, how do I get the, I forget, it's not quite the same with this. Shoot. I'm forgetting. To the internet, Unity rect transform width. There we go. The width of the rectangle. Okay. So mask transform dot rect dot width. Is this a get set? Excellent. Perfect. Okay. So then, yeah, we will, when setting it, this is what we got to do. We got to we will want to set the mask transform dot rect dot width. Wow, I cannot type right now. Width equal to num. Okay. Update it. Damn it. Updated rect equal to, so we gotta yeah, gotta pull it out, change the value, and put it back in basically. So mask transform dot rect, and now the updated rect dot width can be set equal to, perfect, the full mask width times the current value divided by 100. Because current value divided by 100 will give us our percent, and then taking the full width times the percent will tell us how wide it needs to be now. And the full mask width will never get set again. But we'll always grab it on awake so that we get whatever the prefab, has. So as long as the prefab is fully filled, we're good. Excellent. Um, so actually, now that I don't have a separate field, it's just a name, focus can simply just be reduced down to just the name getting its uppy downiness. There we go. Nice and simple. Get rid of that. And we just tell it if it's an increase or not. Cool. Okay. Awesome. I think new target value, I'm going to leave that as a to-do for the moment. And I'm going to make a note to come back to that. Because I think I need to figure out how, like, my main concern is, like, every time I call the UI part, am I always going to provide those two? Yes. Let's just say yes. I will assume I'm providing them. And so now this new target value does not equal, no, sorry. New target value equals current target value. Then so all we are doing here now actually is figuring out how many chevrons to show. Yeah. So we need some of this is like, do I want some of these settings at this level or higher level? Like, I think we'll put it at this level for now. So let's make a serialized field called private float or private int. Change maybe change per chevron or change per arrow. And what we'll figure out here is let's see. This is all update the values, displayed and focus it. We're not going to focus it anymore. Determine number and direction of arrows. Okay, so first off, we need to figure out is it increase or decrease so we know what type of arrows to show. Oh, we need references for the arrows first. Yeah. Yeah. Put those down here. And I'm gonna make these individually. Um, change step 1. Change step 1? No. Um, it's displaying a like I'm just struggling with the name. It's displaying a trend. It's displaying how things will change. So let's call it oh, change arrow 1. Yeah. And then so some people really don't like underscores in their variable names. I'm okay with them. Let's see. Private image, change arrow. My friend who's playing the demo right now is sending me stuff on the side. I got the title Dave the Late and Dave the Absent, and now I'm offended. I had no men or food to spare. Okay, focusing up. So what we will do is first we'll make another is increase boolean. And so this we need to check the current value to the no. We're just gonna we're gonna refresh all of it basically. We're not gonna we don't care what the old target is. So target value equals p new target value. And then new target value. I'm gonna call it increasing because it's slightly different. It doesn't matter that I'm increasing the value. It's just like it will continue increasing. So if the current value is less than the target value, that means we are trending upwards. And now we will do a we're gonna do a calculation where floats arrow count, and that's going to be equal to a math ceiling to int returns the smallest integer greater than or equal to yep. And I'm going to do the difference So target value minus current. And since I'm going to do ceiling, it's actually important that I make sure that this is an absolute value. So we'll wrap this in an absolute. So whatever the raw difference is, divided by change per arrow. So for instance, if the difference is 7 and our change per arrow is 5, we'll get 1.2, or we will, no, we'll be 1 point something something, so it'll ceiling to 2, and it'll want 2 arrows. Yes. Okay. And actually, change per arrow. Yeah, no, that's fine. Because this is simply how it displays. This is not how much it actually will change per turn. We'll put that setting somewhere else. Unless I could have the number of arrows correspond to how many turns it'll take to get there. In which case, this setting needs to be a little bit more global, but we'll think about that later. Arrow count, arrow count. Now, we'll do a switch on arrow count. Case 0. Case 1. Case 2. And then default. And this is a bit brute forcey, but I don't care. And so what we will do is change arrow 1 dot set act. Nope. Game object dot set active false. And then we'll do that 3 times for the 3 different arrows. And then for each one of these, it'll just get a little bit better. So in this case, this will be true, and we'll want to make sure that change arrow 1 dot sprite is equal to a good arrow. So stat decode dot get miscellaneous icon, where the icon is based on if we're increasing or not. Shoot, 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 shoot. Let's just grab the sprite early. And actually, we don't even need the is increasing anymore. We can just do this as an if. Okay, okay, we're slowly getting there. So we will declare our arrow sprite arrow sprite equals stat decode dot get miscellaneous icon dot. If it's increasing, we want to point to the right because more is getting shaded in. If it's decreasing, we will point left. It was right. And technically, I could just do all of this the same way, but brute force. And the reason I don't want to think that hard. That's the reason. That's all. I might at the end of all this clean it up a little bit. The one thing that would be nice is maybe making the stats a scriptable object. Yeah, that would be maybe the nicest thing to do. But there we go. Now we've got our arrows set up. I'm pretty sure. Focus font's good. Reset the font. We only have the name. Okay. Technically, we got rid of all the red squiggly lines. We won. Anything we didn't use that we thought we were gonna use? Nope, looks good. Let's see now. I'm gonna pop into here. Stat HUD row, and we got new things that we need to set. Excuse me. So our stat name still the same. Stat value. Oh, it's not reloading because we still have errors in our scripts. That's fine. Let's keep chasing them. Okay, I kind of figured we would get to this point where I need to now start zooming out. So that is everything for just the UI row. And now we're going to really start tackling how stats are handled in the game as a whole, which is fine. This is going to be hopefully not too bad because the only thing that really changed is I'm no longer keeping track of a delta value. I'm keeping track of a target value. So actually what we're going to do here is stats displayed is a dictionary of stat HUD. Oh, it's actually referencing those scripts. Okay. And we're reaching out to player stats, which is a dictionary of stats, in order to get. Where are you getting this from? It's an event coming from player stats being updated. Okay, so let's rather than work backwards, let's go to the beginning. This is my class that keeps track of the player stats. Delta term. So delta terms, this is gonna, oh man, we're gonna have a whole chunk of functionality that doesn't matter anymore. Delta terms used to be how I kept track of and verbalized to the player how I was calculating the uppy downiness. You know, the plus 10 per week or something. And that I think is just irrelevant now. I don't even think. I think the equivalent would be somehow showing the way I calculate out what your current target is. Which that could be interesting. And this is that's what I was referring to when I was talking about review delta values. So actually, I kind of want to show that if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about. Because maybe looking at it, I'll also realize that it's either more necessary or less necessary. So if I played a demo. These are what I'm talking about. I had this like sub panel where I was showing you how all this was calculated. You know, you're getting 14, but maybe yeah, see, there's some extra impacts of like what will I display here instead. I think this is still relevant. I'm gonna call the brain behind all this a stretch goal for now. We're gonna focus on just getting this up and running, and I'll probably, as a second round of effort, figure out how I'm gonna handle all that. So yeah, because there's a lot of delta stuff, like how I determine the food and gold. Okay, that's fine. All of this is fine. I am at a point where I kind of wish I was building all this as new code and leaving the old code so I didn't completely blow up in its face. Hmm. I'm trying not to get scared. I need to just kind of. I should just let it rip. Should just let it rip. Let it rip. Okay. Here's the thing that needs to change. For sure, your player stats. I think a stat. Where is this object? The stat struct has a value and a delta value. Let's also add in and see. This is where I probably will save myself an initial headache, and I'll have to just come back later with it to do and clean it up. But we're gonna add in target value, and then to do remove delta value. Remove / rework delta value. Okay. And then we're gonna talk about stats in JSON. Do we? I see 0 references. So we're not gonna worry about that right now. Cool. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Target value. So then, player stats. Set up the initial stats. Okay. And that's coming from stat list, which is part of the loading process. Okay. Oh, yep, this is getting sloppy. This is good. This is good, though. This is good. Getting the initial player stats. So for like the demo, which is the scene we're loading, we'll start there. So in the base file for that scenario, that scene, I have different calls that help build things. And so my initial player stats excellent. Okay. So these are going to be values between 0 and 100. the point of the first scene is you need to collect as much food as possible. So saying you're at like 50% food is fine. But actually, for the sake of my sanity, let's do food.value, food.target value. And let's just say your target value is currently 60. And then gold.target value. You're losing gold, but you're gaining food. We'll swap them. And actually, for a little extra verification, use numbers that don't line up. Honor, we're gonna say you're dead even on honor. And then honor target value, you're not moving. And we'll do the same with Marshall, but you're starting off like a pretty weak house. And those are our initial stats. Okay. So far, so good. Awesome. And then when we save, because this is part of the serializable struct, it'll automatically get shoved in there. Maybe that's why there's a JSON version. Just in case. It says 0 references, but I will have to double check that to be truly confident. Okay, so now when we play, we're going to start off with stats and target or values and target values. Those are going to get shuttled up to set up initial stats, which will call player stats as set up initial stats. And now these stats will have it. And player stats, what is player stats? A dictionary of stats. Okay. So we've got our new values. And when stats updated is when this is finished, then stats updated, that delegate is called which stats hub is subscribed to, and we are getting that dictionary of stats. Okay, perfect. In which case, what we're gonna do is we hid those values, so now stats HUD row needs a public. Oh, we're doing this setup. Oh, but for us, setup and setup and updates are going to be all the same. How do we know if scenario is loading? Oh, and we call updated values based on that. And oh, we only update the values if the values are different. That was why. Oh, we were checking it in 2 places. We only called update values if there was a change. But then within the old code, I believe I had in it within update values, I would only update the okay. Interesting. We were checking in 2 places, so I actually do not need this to be checked anymore. We could just call stats displayed stat type dot update values. Yeah. Outside of any ifs. And we're still checking that it contains the key just because there might be stat types that don't get displayed. AKA Marshall and Honor. Or Military and Honor, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to display, but just in case. 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 Just Wait, when is this called? So if we do not contain the key. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay, so if it sorry, update and add stat block are different. So when they do it the first time, we call add stat block, which will add it to that dictionary of stat blocks we're displaying. And that's when we call setup stat row. So within our row code, setup will be called the first time around. Display decode. There we go. Now it's being used. Whew. Glad I caught that. And then update values. And it won't update anything. Because the big thing is you don't want to set text values or images, or you don't want to change anything about the UI display unless you're actually changing something, because a change causes it to redraw the UI. And this is how we keep our redraws down. So, okay, I think we're close actually to being able to hit play, because if I'm not mistaken, everything's ready to handle running, because most things refer to it as just stat. The struct. And sure, I don't know what, the things like next turn calculations, which use the delta values, or the headquarters use the delta values. But as long as I don't do anything, we should be able to see it run. So let's go. Now we can go back and make sure everything's plugged in, I think. Yep, we're out of errors. So on stat HUD row. We have our stat name, our outline icons are going to be, lock this. Will be these. Nope, these are the filled outlines. And then our filled ones will be these guys. Perfect. The mask transform. There we go. Focus text style increase. Oh, this was a string. Whoopsies. How do I get to that again? I think I gotta go text mesh pro resources TMP settings. No. Oh, style sheets. There we go. So focus increase, focus decrease. That was the text. Change per arrow. Let's start off with something. Let's do 7. And for that reason, I'm actually going to tweak those numbers I picked earlier. So this is 20 apart, so we should get 3 arrows, because I did a ceiling function. But I'll make this only 10 apart, so I'll get 2 arrows. Okay. And then the change arrows are change plus. Change plus. Kind of regret that naming convention a little bit, but oh well. Um, I think that's it. And then let's go back. So now we are in our stats HUD row. I'm going to go ahead and remove the HUD row. Stats HUD. Current. Oh, okay, so this explanation is no longer necessary. We can. Well, I might put a different explanation. We'll leave it blank and see how it looks. You need to know the right prefabs. I don't want you using the old. I want you using stats HUD. Perfect. Oh, shoot. And we're in a prefab right now, so I need to apply that to... A lot of weird random overrides that are... Like, a lot of them are right, but a lot of them are dumb. Oh. So apply hiding that and apply that. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's let it let's Oh, no, there's something else. Our decodes and references. I added twice as many. So now, okay. Almost missed that. So gold. What are we going to use for gold? Are we going to use the money bags? Let's use bags at first. So this is the outline. And this is the fill. Food. Let's use the bread. So this is the outline. This is the fill. Honor. Oh. Kind of forgot. We need more icons. Whoopsies. Back to icons land. I don't remember if I found good honor ones. I kind of, this is what I was using before, the wreath. Oops, we need to recolor them white. Almost forgot. So I'll keep using it. I do think this is one of the weaker selections of mine. So we'll see if we come up with something better. And then military. Sword. Army. No, that's too modern. Too modern. That's like British. British. Ew. This could work. Yeah, let's use this. There we go. And then, oh, you know what? We forgot. With all these, we need colors. We need colors for the fill. And so here's where, yeah. So these icon references, if I made the stat like a scriptable object, I could have that scriptable object hold the display name, the image references, the color. The thing is, I don't really want to go through all the steps right now of making that addressable. So this is definitely an old way of doing it that I do not like. But here I am doing it anyways. Probably what will happen is after I verify this works, I will get too annoyed by it and go update it too. Because like that's a design pattern I use for pretty much everything else. Like the jobs, the icons for house sigils, things like that. House colors as well. Marshall, Phil. There we go. And now when I get this, I should also return back an out color, key, fill, color. And then we need a dictionary for it to... Where is it? Here we go. Dictionary, oh, stat type, color. And then we would only have one dictionary. It would just point to the scriptable objects. Oh, it would be so much better. Ah, here I am, lamenting my choices. And so we are just gonna dump this like that. Stats, fill, stat, fill, color. Gold fill color, food fill color, honor filled color. Nope. Honor. Really? Did I not? Oh, I misspelled honor. Which I know, you're going to be like, oh, you're misspelling it anyways with the U. And I'm going to say, I like the U. So, do one more check of this, except this time it'll be stat, fill, color. There we go. And now, where this is called, whoops. Come on. There we go. We now need an out color, fill color. Whoops. Forgot my comma. And when we're updating the filled image, image dot color. Should be that straightforward. Save all that. Come back here. And now we have color selected. So gold, let's make it... It's got to be different enough from the background. I think we'll do a darker gold. Food, I like kind of that bready color. Honor always... Let's get like a deep purple. And Marshall... We can go in the reds. There. And then we just need the new icons. I can't select just some of them. So we're gonna evidently re-download the whole collection. Cool. And then we need the new one. So Spartan helmet and laurel wreath. Make them sprites. Going through the song and dances. Get the decode references. This is martial outline. This is martial helmet. And actually, we're going to rename this military because I think just generic. Yeah. And then. Oop, no, honor is the laurels. There we go. And then filled is the second one. Now we save all of that. All that's good. Okay, I think we're ready to hit play and start watching it blow up. Play. Okay. Okay. Nothing blew up. But we did not get our intended effects. One, that those aren't the chevrons. Those arrows are different. And I like the chevrons better. But two, we don't have fill. There's no filling anywhere. Our mask is the right size. Oh, I think our layers might be wrong. No. Everything is UI except for the stat HUD row. That didn't do anything. Oh, the alphas of the colors weren't set. There we go. But now the question is, why didn't our rect transform get updated? Oh, I know why. I bet we never put back the updated rect. Nope, we updated it and then we never reset it. So we just need to pass it back. Mask transform dot rect equals updated rect. Oh, it's only read only. No. So this is a bad method, anyways. Can we set? Yeah, no. To the internet. Modify the width and height of a rect transform. Size delta? You know, I think I knew this at one point. Okay. So actually, what we probably need to do is full mask width equal to mask transform dot size delta dot x. And we're going to throw a breakpoint and we're going to debug this actually. Oh, and then down here, actually, a new vector 2 where the x is this and the y is the normal, whatever. And then we can get rid of all that, which we will also put a breakpoint on. Save. Enable debugging, and let's see. Oh, update those colors first. You need alpha. You need alpha. You also need the alpha. And by golly, you need the alpha. And one last thing that I didn't think about is the... Where is it that I actually say whether it's hidden or not? Visibility. Where am I using you? As I would like to show the other two. Oh yeah, plague. Forgot about that one. Uh-huh. Initialize gold, initialize food, initialize honor. Oh, this is in the... I have this toggle option that I've never used. But okay, now they're just set to always. We'll see how we feel about that. Now let's hit play and see what happens. Oh, we didn't remove them because there's no difference. Wait, what? Also, we never hit our breakpoints. Maybe we need a breakpoint there. But now why is the color not... Wait, what? I don't know what's going on with the display here, but that's not showing in game, so I'm not worried about it. Wait a minute, where are all the rows? Oh, because I'm in Scenario Essentials right now. Shoot. Oh, I never saved my prefab changes, which included the colors, which... Now we should be good. I'm a good dev, I swear. looking good, baby. Um, hmm. Okay, so now I'm looking at it. And I am seeing one potential problem is if my icons don't go to the edge, this makes it look like I barely have one, which is 20%, but I actually have 25%, but a lot of that extra 5% is like lost. Like we're losing a lot of it because the image does not go all the way to the right, you know? Like if I'm looking at this object, like there's a lot of space here of red being filled in that you don't see. Um, so that's one problem with this setup. It just means I need to get, I need to like edit those sprites to reach the borders. Because these look good. Except for this first one. Oh, for some reason that's peeking through very brightly. That's whatever, fine. Arrows are still not functioning correctly, so we will investigate those. Also, my debugging mode is not cooperating, so we'll investigate that. But we're going to just quick try to figure out those last few things before we wrap this up, but I need to pause for a moment. Okay, here we go. I don't know why our debugger didn't kick in, but we're going to, we've saved everything, and now we're going to try again. Sometimes you just have to reattach it. Enable the debugging. Because I feel once I get a view into what's going on, it's going to be like almost obvious and I'm going to feel dumb, but there we go. Perfect. So, we're resetting the stats. Great. We don't have it yet, so we're adding it. And then we're setting up the stat row. We're getting our display information. Which one are we doing right now? We're doing gold. Okay. So, for each image, update the image. Okay. Just gonna skip to stat value. Step in. Update it. Oh! We're not passing anything into target value, so that's why we're never hitting the arrow logic. Ah! Found you! Also, I'm realizing that that's bad logic because... Okay, well... We're just gonna... Got to it. Okay. So that's also bad logic in here because um hello cat. Because the changing target's not what will change the number or whether or not we need to redraw the arrows. What matters is how many arrows we're going to show. So we're also going to show private and current arrow count. We're going to track that. And then if current arrow count does not equal arrow count, then we will do all this stuff where the first thing is we set it. Oh, it's a float? Int. There we go. And then this switch statement we need to copy into here. And then we can unwrap this. So delete one squiggly bracket, take that out, and then for my sanity, take out that indent. So unfortunately, every time we set the value, we gotta refigure out the arrows, but that's fine. That's gonna be super lightweight because we're still not causing a redraw until we touch the objects on the, like, until we change something on the objects that are being displayed. So we save that now. Also, while we're at it, let's tackle the arrow issue. We don't want arrows, we want chevrons. So in my miscellaneous bucket, let's add public sprite right chevron and public sprite left chevron. And of course I made this into an enum, so right chevron left chevron. And set up miss icons. See, this is another area where, like, if I had a list of things, like a list of scriptable objects, this would be easier to do. I learned a fair amount of how to set things up a little more expandable. I do not envision revisiting these areas though after this, which is one reason. Like, we're just getting closer to the end of the project. The stat types still feel like something I should be doing. But arrow sprite, we are doing right chevrons and left chevrons now. There we go. So now, oh, we need to pass the target in. That was the whole thing. When we were calling set value, we were passing in delta values, not target values. So we just need to do targets. There we go. Save. And now we can let it rip one more time. And I think we're going to be close. Whoops. There were no more breakpoints in place. So, wait. 55, 55. Oh, we already did this. Uh-huh. Oh, never said it. Oh, no. We never set the reference. Shoot. That's... Yep. Yeah. Whoopsies. Open. References. Yep, chevrons. Where are they? Left goes to left. Right goes to right. File, save. Let's try it again. We're getting there. We are getting there. Color. We didn't do uppy downy color. Shoot. I'm going to take out the breakpoints actually now. I'm pretty confident. Okay, yeah. So we've got decreasing, increasing. All looking good. I think honor needs a new icon because the color does not pop well enough. I guess actually let me full screen it. Yeah, that's not popping. So we'll need a new icon for that. However, this is working. The only thing left to do now is increase, decrease colors, which I thought I had already. Where is the Text Mesh Pro getting it from? The style sheets. Oh, I just have it passed in as a hex code. Okay. Well, I'm just going to grab these and I'll put them somewhere else too. I forgot, yeah. With the Text Mesh Pro style sheets, it's not a reference to a color, it's just the color. And since we're only really using it here, I don't need it super generic. So on the HUD row, we will the text style increase, decrease, and then the serialize field private color increase color. There we go. And then we will use these down when we are setting our arrows. If we are increasing, arrow color should be increased color, and for decreasing, arrow color should be the decreased color. And down here, and yep, this is looking very repetitive again. Yeah, there's better ways to set this section up for sure, you know? I'm not going to overthink it right now because we are close to having it all working. And that's what the main goal at this moment is. That means, though, because I updated that to be a field on our prefab, I just need to go to our prefab and make sure I set those colors. So HUD. That's the folder, and that's HUD row. Let's just reuse these same colors for consistency. Hit the old save button. And we can hit play now. Why are the... Oh, wait. Why are these missing? Oh, no. How is all this... How has it all gone sideways? Shoot. What happened? Oh, the colors. Once again, I forgot to set the alphas on the colors. Ah. Yep. If you copy things in with a hex code, I forget that that can happen. And then to make what's happening with the last two, because there's no changes, their arrow count should be 0. And I'm checking, did the arrow count change? Current arrow count should actually start at -1 to ensure that it gets updated. And actually, I don't usually like setting stuff up there like that. I like to put it in the awake. Just because if I set it up here with the variable declaration, I accidentally will read it as a constant sometimes, and that's not right. For the same reason, let's also take current value and set it equal to -1, because -1 will never be a valid choice. And I'll handle that in a different class when we handle applying changes to our stats. But this way, when we go through the first time, we will always redraw it and update the UI to reflect the changes. So now I am hopeful. Let's go play button. Yes, yes, yes. It's perfect. It's perfect. One thing has me a little questioning, like this banner appears to be kind of long. I could shorten that up. The banner base, I mean. Because like in-game, whoops. You know, that dips down a little bit, but so does the jobs. So that could just be a thing for me to do. But I like this splash of color, too. It does help, in my opinion. I'll have to... I'll test out with my friends what they think about these arrows. But that's looking pretty good. So, I'm going to wrap it up here. This has been a very... I feel a pretty productive video. I was making progress the entire way, so hopefully this was entertaining. If you made it this far, you are a legend. A hero of the Sir Beelington channel, the My Liege fandom. Or I'm just on in the living room and y'all forgot to turn me off. In which case, hi Remy. What would be left here is... Definitely there's some improvements of what I did already, which is, I think, this class where I have my stat as a struct, like this struct is fine, because this is the struct to use to track things within the game as it's playing during runtime. What I don't like, though, is this decode garbage. I should have a scriptable object that holds this information. For example, I'll pull up in colors for like house colors. I have blue, for example, and it's a scriptable object which has two things a display name, so what it will say in drop downs, and its color. That's it. Similarly, in images for like house sigils, I have like the mountain, display name, and what icon to use. So I could do the same thing here for my stat decodes. I could put in here what the display name would be, the outline, the fill images, and then the fill color. All of that would be nice and neatly packed here. I would just have to load them up as addressables in the beginning, which is a setup. But and the tricky thing there is you just need to make sure that before you try to use that information, that is done loading. So there can be a little bit of a delay there. Usually it's only like a 1 frame delay though. But you'll definitely want to load those as async when you're using addressables. But like that would be the proper way to do that section. I just kept extending an old, like the way this class was when we first got here today, I set it up ages ago, before I even understood how addressables work, before I understood how scriptable objects work. So, yeah, definitely an old way of doing it for me, at least. So it'd be to replace that, but things I still have to do is player stats needs to be updated in a couple of spots. One is to handle updating the stats. So when you make a choice and that choice involves making changes to your inventory or your stats, this needs to be updated to, or at least reviewed to make sure it works. I think it won't because of this. I have delta change. And so I need to consider just how to rewrite this. And then similarly, the turn management. So recalculate delta. Now apply next turn updates. Same thing. Next turn updates will work different because I won't be tracking a delta amount, which was my per turn change. That will just be a flat number for each stat type of like how much per turn can you increase. Because if I'm keeping track of that target, my goal is like you're at 40, your target or your status quo balance of 60 means that you ran low on inventory, but your infrastructure can handle 60. So over maybe 3 turns, you'll meet there. But you won't go over because that's like your sitting level. Similarly, if you've got a one-time infusion, you might be here and like you'll slowly regress to your status quo again. So that needs to be, handled here, whereas right now it's just delta amounts everywhere. But those things I'm going to do separately. One, because it's dinner time for me, and two, I don't want to make this video infinitely long. But we covered the big thing that I wanted to, which was getting that visual update, and I really do think it looks better now. Thank you again. Hope you had a good time. Let me know if you had any questions, and I'll see you later.